In a forgotten corner of the map, where cell phone service is unreachable, the streets are dirt, and the future seems distant, lived Mateo, a boy of barely 9 years old. His home was a small wooden shack with a tin roof and no stable electricity. He shared a single room with his parents and 2 siblings. No bathroom, no internet, no luxuries. But what he did have was something you can't see, but you can feel, a restless mind and a fierce desire to learn. Every day Mateo woke up before dawn. At 4:30 a.m., his mother made him black coffee and a piece of stale bread. With a worn backpack slung over his shoulder, he began his routine, a 10-kilometer walk to school. Rain or shine, through puddles and rocks, crossing rivers and hills, he went alone. He never complained. Sometimes he went with broken shoes, other times without them, but always with his eyes wide open, as if each step brought him a little closer to his dream, to succeed thanks to education. Mateo was the first to arrive in class. He sat in the front row, copied everything the teacher wrote, and asked questions that sometimes left the adults speechless. He didn't have any books at home, so his notebooks were his personal library. At night, he read them by the dim light of a kerosene lamp, quietly repeating what he had learned. One of his teachers noticed something special. He wasn't just intelligent, he was disciplined, curious, and self-taught. She lent him high school textbooks, and Mateo devoured them. By the age of 10, he was already solving algebra problems and asking questions about physics, even though he had never seen it in class. Later, a new teacher lent him something that would change his life, an old laptop, without internet, but with educational programs, encyclopedias, and physics and math simulators. Mateo had never used a computer, but within days he was handling everything as if he had always done so. He spent hours exploring, solving problems, and reading advanced concepts. At 14, he entered a regional science competition. He presented a homemade water purification system, made from recyclable materials, plastic bottles, charcoal, sand, and cotton. A cheap, simple, and useful filter. His project won first place. The photo of Mateo with his medal hanging from his neck, proudly holding his model, went viral on social media. Many were moved. A humble, underprivileged boy who walked every day just to study, now stood out among hundreds. A private university in the capital contacted him. They offered him a full scholarship, tuition, housing, food, and full access to technology. Mateo was 15 years old when he first left his village. He boarded a bus, then a plane, and arrived in a city that seemed like another planet. Tall buildings, lights everywhere, people in a hurry, and a pace completely different from his own. At first, he struggled to adapt. He was surprised by simple things, elevators, supermarkets, the Wi-Fi signal, but he didn't let himself be intimidated. While others were distracted by social media or parties, Mateo remained focused on what he did, learning. Today, at 22, Mateo is an environmental engineer. He works on sustainable projects and has returned to his hometown several times, not only to visit, but to contribute. He has brought computers, school supplies, and created a small program to help rural children like himself. His story isn't just that of a poor child who got ahead. It's that of someone who chose not to give up. Who, with each barefoot step, got closer to his dreams. Who understood that the path doesn't matter if you know where you're going. In a world where many give up because things aren't easy, Mateo reminds us that the greatest power lies in desire. Because yes, sometimes it's not about having more, but about wanting more. And when there is a will, even the longest road can be traveled barefoot.